It is 4:47 in the morning, still dark, still quiet. The street looks like every other street in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Brick row houses, dead lawns. A recycling bin someone forgot to bring in. 8 black vehicles roll to a stop 2 blocks away, engines off, doors open without sound. 23 FBI agents move on foot toward a house at the end of a cul-de-sac. Inside that house is a man who has been trusted with the most classified secrets the United States government possesses. They breach at 5:12. The first agent through the garage door stops walking. He reaches for his radio, then doesn't use it. He just stands there. The boxes go from floor to ceiling. Hundreds of them. Bankers' boxes, moving boxes, cardboard boxes with no labels, hard drives loose in plastic bags, thumb drives in coffee mugs, printed documents stacked in piles taller than a man, each page stamped with classification markings the agents have never seen outside a controlled facility. It takes the forensics team 11 hours just to catalog what is in the garage. They haven't touched the shed yet, or the car. Think about what that means. One man, one suburban house, an agency that employs 35,000 people and monitors the communications of entire nations, and it had no idea this room existed. His name is Harold Thomas Martin III. He is not a spy. He is not a defector. He is something the National Security Agency has no category for, and that is exactly why he survived for 20 years. Harold Martin looks exactly like what the system needs him to be. Navy veteran, computer science doctorate from the University of Maryland, security clearance renewed without incident across 6 administrations. The kind of man the National Security Agency trusts implicitly because the National Security Agency built him. He works as a contractor. By 2012, 30% of the NSA's workforce operates this way. Private employees embedded inside classified programs, trusted with the agency's most sensitive tools, because the agency cannot function without them. Martin cycles through some of the biggest names in defense contracting: Booz Allen Hamilton, Leidos, Pluribus International. Each contract brings deeper access. Each renewal confirms he is exactly who he appears to be. His colleagues describe him as methodical, quiet, someone who prefers systems to people. He keeps to himself. He does his work. He goes home. And going home, that is where the other Harold Martin exists. The one who has been building something since 1996. Not a network, not a plan, a library. He takes a document here, a drive there. He prints classified manuals and slides them into folders. He copies exploit code to thumb drives the size of a fingernail and drops them into his jacket pocket. Nobody checks the pockets. The genius of Harold Martin, if you can call it that, is that he has no genius, no tradecraft, no dead drops, no cutouts, no encryption, no foreign handler. He simply takes things home. And for 20 years, the assumption that someone must be watching was the only thing protecting an archive of secrets worth more than some nation's entire defense budgets. Nobody was watching. And Martin, somewhere between compulsion and calculation, knew it. The National Security Agency has rules about removable media. Thumb drives must be registered. Hard drives must be logged. Classified material removed from a secure facility must be documented. Movement authorized. Purpose stated. Return confirmed. In principle. In practice, the NSA runs on speed. Intelligence has a shelf life. An analyst who spends 40 minutes filling out a media transfer request is an analyst who loses the intercept window. So the culture develops its own logic. Trust the clearance, skip the friction, get the work done. Martin understands this before anyone names it. He uses standard issue removable media, the same drives every contractor uses for legitimate work. He accesses files through approved terminals. He copies during normal working hours. He walks out through the same turnstiles as everyone else. The audit logs exist, but the sheer volume of data moving through the NSA's systems on any given day makes anomaly detection almost impossible without a specific target to search for. Martin is never a specific target. He is background noise. Over 20 years, he accumulates 50 terabytes of classified material. To put that in physical terms, that is roughly 1.5 million printed pages, stacked flat They would rise taller than 30 statues of liberty. He stores it in a garden shed he padlocked himself, in a car with a broken rear window he never repaired, in a garage with no climate control, NSA hacking tools, and foreign intelligence assessments, yellowing in Maryland summers and freezing in Maryland winters, not secured, not hidden, just sitting there. Because Martin's greatest security measure was that nobody at the NSA ever thought to look at him. Then, on August 13th, 2016, a group no one had ever heard of posted a message online. They claimed to have NSA weapons. They were selling them, and the NSA had 72 hours to find out how. The post appears on a hacker forum at 3 in the afternoon. The username is the Shadow Brokers. The writing is deliberately fractured, broken syntax, mock Russian grammar, contemptuous in tone. They claim to have breached the Equation Group, the NSA's most elite offensive hacking unit, the team responsible for Stuxnet for decade-long penetrations of foreign government networks. As proof, they publish a sample. NSA analysts verify it within 4 hours. The code is real. Classification markings intact. Tool names matching internal designations that exist nowhere outside Fort Meade. The Shadow Brokers have not just stolen NSA tools, they have published them for free as an advertisement. The full archive, they announce, goes to the highest bidder. Inside the NSA, the question is not what was taken, the question is how. 3 investigative threads open simultaneously. A foreign breach, Russia, China, an unknown actor, a current insider, a former insider. Investigators pull access logs for the compromised tools. They run queries against contractor records. They flag anomalous media transfer activity, large volumes, off-hours access, patterns that don't match operational assignments. The same name appears in 3 separate queries within 48 hours. Harold Thomas Martin III on August 27th, 2016, 14 days after the Shadow Brokers post. The FBI executes the search warrant on Glenn Burney. When agents enter the garage, Martin is already awake. He is standing in the kitchen in a dressing gown. He does not ask what they want. He does not reach for a phone. He does not ask for a lawyer. He puts his hands on the counter and waits. One agent, who was present later, tells investigators that Martin's expression in that first moment was not fear, it was relief. But what the investigators don't know yet, what takes another 6 months to confirm, is that Harold Martin and the Shadow Brokers are 2 entirely separate problems, and one of them, the NSA, still cannot explain. The Department of Justice charges Martin on 20 counts: theft of government property, unauthorized retention of national defense information, a potential sentence of over 200 years. His defense is simple, and the government cannot fully refute it. Martin never sold anything, never contacted a foreign intelligence service, never attempted to weaponize what he took. His attorneys present psychiatric evaluations describing compulsive hoarding behavior, a man who could not stop accumulating, who found psychological safety in possession, not action. The government agrees he caused no direct damage through espionage. What the government cannot say is what happened to the material once it left his garage. The Shadow Brokers continue releasing NSA tools throughout 2016 and 2017. In May 2017, North Korea weaponizes one of those tools, Eternal Blue, into an attack called WannaCry. It locks 300,000 computers across 150 countries. The United Kingdom's National Health Service goes dark. Surgeries are canceled. Patient records vanish. 2 months later, Russia deploys another stolen NSA exploit in NotPetya. $10 billion in global damage in 72 hours. The NSA's own weapons, used against hospitals, against shipping companies, against ordinary people who have never heard of Fort Meade. The agency's internal review of how Martin was missed remains classified. No contractor firm faces charges. No oversight body publishes findings. The senators who receive classified briefings on the breach ask no public questions. In 2019, Martin pleads guilty to a single count, 9 years. He serves less than 5. The tools he may have lost are still circulating. Nobody knows where. Nobody is saying. Harold Thomas Martin III walks out of federal prison in 2023. He is 60 years old. He has no security clearance. No contractor will touch him. The career that gave him access to the most powerful surveillance infrastructure ever built is gone. But the archive he built over 20 years, the 50 terabytes of code and tradecraft and classified methods that cannot be unbuilt, it exists somewhere, in some form, on drives that were never recovered, in the hands of people who were never identified, powering attacks that have not happened yet. The NSA's contractor workforce still numbers in the tens of thousands. The cultural calculation, speed over friction, trust the clearance, skip the audit, that calculation has not been publicly revised. The agency that built the world's most sophisticated signals intelligence apparatus, that tapped undersea cables, carrying half the globe's internet traffic. That cracked the encryption protecting foreign heads of state. That agency looked at Harold Martin every working day for 20 years. It saw a cleared contractor doing his job, going home, coming back. It never saw what he was carrying. The threat you do not see is the one that beats you. And the most dangerous man in the history of American intelligence never once had to be clever. He just had to be invisible, inside a system that was too busy watching the world to watch itself.